When the beat drops, you know exactly what time it is. Hello and welcome into another episode of The Blitz. I'm Evan Closky, and joining me, as always, is Atlanta's favorite son, David Schiele.
Yes, sir. I know a good NFC South bout when I see one, and that's exactly what we got inside Raymond James Stadium. And on today's episode, we're going to be discussing that, of course, how the Bucs can get creative with its wide receivers, how Baker Mayfield can do more by doing less. Plus, for the first time this season, we try to rally up the defense in the segment we like to call What Are You Going to Do About It?
So let's get started. This is the 10 and 10, the 10 most important topics you need to know before the Bucs take on the Atlanta Falcons. It's a rematch of the October 3rd matchup where the Bucs gave that game away, losing 36-30 in overtime. I cannot overstate the importance of this contest. Both teams are 4-3, first place in the division, up for grabs, and if the Falcons beat Tampa Bay again, they'll essentially have a two-game cushion on the Bucs thanks to the tiebreaker.
At number 9, let's go through the details of that first matchup, because in the first half, Baker Mayfield and the offense were cooking. They put up 24 points. They led Atlanta by 7 going into the break. But after that, the unit only mustered 106 total yards, 2 field goals, and this costly fumble. Mayfield finished with only 180 passing yards in the game, and you know what? That should have been enough. Lavonte David picked off Kirk Cousins with less than 2 minutes to play, but then the Bucs took themselves out of field goal range, gave the ball back to Atlanta. The Falcons forced overtime, and then Kadero Hodge walked it off with a 45-yard touchdown.
More importantly, David, Kirk Cousins embarrassed Todd Bowles and his defense in that meeting earlier this month. The veteran signal caller threw for 509 yards with 4 touchdowns and the aforementioned pick. Life was too easy for him. And at number 8, it helps to have certain weapons around him. Drake London in that contest caught 12 passes for 154 yards. He ranked 7th in the NFL for receiving yards. Also watch out for Florida product Kyle Pitts. He has tallied 65-plus yards in his last 3 matchups, starting with that contest against Tampa Bay. Sprinkle in a little Bijan Robinson and a Darnell Mooney, and the Bucs are going to need to be on their A game.
Now, if this were last Sunday, I would have been able to say the same thing about the Bucs to the Falcons, but we all know what happened against the Ravens. At number 7, Chris Godwin is done for the season, and Mike Evans will be out at least through the bye week with a hamstring injury. Since the Bucs drafted Godwin back in 2017, Tampa Bay has only played 4 games without this wide receiver duo. They went 1-3 in those matchups. There is no wide receiver on the roster right now with more than 100 yards. Sterling Shepard is the leader, and he started the season on the practice squad, y'all. Rookie Jalen McMillan is going to have to grow up quickly. Trey Palmer will need to step up even more. There's a certain buzzword going around One Buck this week with how to scheme up the offense.
Just going to be a full group effort. It's going to look different, but that's okay. And you know what? It'll be a little bit more creative, and we'll have some fun with it.
You never know what you can do until you find out what you don't have. Coach Parcells always said that, and coaches have to do more, and players have to do more, and you got to be more creative. So we're putting our heads down to work, and we'll get it done.
So the buzzword of the week is creative. Now that we know that, let's bring in James Yarko for our Locked on Bucs burning question of the week. And James, what does creative mean for this offense? How do the Bucs move forward without Godwin and Evans?
I think ultimately what getting creative is going to mean is employing this 3-headed running back monster in a very different way. Is Bucky Irving going to be more of the primary running back while Rachaad White is a bigger part of the passing game? Is Sean Tucker going to see more carries early in the game? Are they going to run 2 running back sets with one of the other running backs lining up as a slot receiver? They're going to have to find ways to manufacture yards and manufacture points in unconventional means. And I think that's about playing into the strengths of the players that they have left on the roster. Cade Otton is now going to get a little bit of a bump. So I think this high-octane offense that we've seen through the first 7 weeks because of Chris Godwin, because of Mike Evans, it's going to change. And it's going to change to a much slower pace. It's going to change to a much more ground and pound type of approach. Whether or not they can succeed in that is yet to be determined. It's going to look very different from what we have seen so far, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to find success in other ways.
Thank you so much, James. And at number 5, let's talk about the 5 interceptions Baker Mayfield has thrown in the past 2 weeks. He had only 2 in the first 5 games, by the way. While the coaching staff loves his gunslinger attitude, without Evans and Godwin on the field, it will be more important than ever for Baker to protect the football. Do more by doing less. Check it down and live to play the next play.
The injuries don't end with Godwin and Evans, so at number 4, let's check out our Sidelines segment to see who is hurt for this pivotal contest at home. Bucky Irving evidently has a chronic toe injury. It's not turf toe, but it's a thing. Tyke Smith is in concussion protocol. Greg Gaines hurt his calf during practice this week. It never ends for this group, especially since Todd Bowles also told us Servassier Dennis is officially out for the season. And at number 3, this isn't injury related, but punter Jake Camarda is gone. The 2022 fourth-round pick was one of the best players at his position until this year, where he just kind of lost it. Todd Bowles said he was slumping, and they just couldn't wait for Camarda any longer to figure it out. Trenton Gill will now be the punter moving forward. At number 2, time for one of my favorite segments. What are you going to do about it? This was something we created during the Tom Brady days because he loved to show negative press clippings or mentions to his teammates to try to get them motivated.
And let's keep it a buck, Evan. This defense needs a kick in the butt after giving up more than 500 yards twice in the last 3 games.
Yeah, so let me kick things off. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Joshua says he wants to see more out of you. You have 1 sack all year. You had 5 last season. Look, Joe, we know you're much more than your sack numbers. You'll drop back into coverage. The pass rush win rate is close to 8%. But if you want to get paid in the offseason, if you want to cash in on this contract here, it's time to make some splash plays. So I'll ask you, Joe, what are you going to do about it?
Jordan Whitehead, D-Fizzle Faux Shizzle, unserious name, said, I was so psyched to get you back this offseason, but so far, you've been a total non-factor. You entered the year as one of the most underrated safeties in the league, a Super Bowl champion, someone who was going to bring toughness and tenacity to this defense. And then we watched you make a business decision, multiple business decisions, against Derrick Henry on Monday Night Football. I got to ask you, Jordan, what are you going to do about it?
Zion McCollum, OG Stevens said, you need to go work at Burger King. Now, personally, that's a bit aggressive because Burger King doesn't even crack my top 10 fast food restaurants. Wow. You might be one of the most improved players in the NFL. You might be a star in the making. But if you're going to be elite and mentioned with the best in the world, you have to be dependent on each and every play. So I got to ask you, Zion, what are you going to do about it?
KJ Britt, bro, you know I love you. We're brothers in the Wave Kingdom. One Dead Game said you are the worst player on the Bucs defense by a country mile. He can't even find a worse defender in the league. KJ, you earned the starting gig based on your play last year. You were a dog in that Lions playoff game. You spent years on special teams just for a moment like this, and fans are ripping you to shreds. So I got to ask you, brother, what are you going to do about it?
Todd Bowles. Michael said his co-ed flag football team runs a better zone defense than you. Todd, I also had a slew of other tweets, but all of them had curses in it and couldn't make air. You were the architect of one of the best Super Bowl defensive game plans in history. You stumped Jared Goff in Game 2 of the season. Now, you just gave up 500 yards in 2 of the last 3 weeks. Todd, the hot seat could be warming up. So I gotta ask you, what are you gonna do about it?
To the entire defense, all of y'all, JB, Adam, and Raymond are just a few of the fans calling you out for your play. I know there are injuries, but y'all got some studs in this group. Best safety in the league, Hall of Famer at linebacker, first and second round picks, all up in the trenches. There is no way this group should be a bottom 5 unit for scoring defense or any category for that matter. With Chris and Mike out, it's time for you to shine. Your time to step up. So all of y'all, I got one simple question. What are you going to do about it?
It's a good question. At number 1, it's Creamsicle Week. The best throwback jerseys in all of football will be worn in this matchup against the Falcons. As sweet as these uniforms look, the record is hideous in them. The Buccaneers are 101, 227-1 wearing the Creamsicles. Their last win came in 2009.
The team will honor the 1979 Bucs who won the first division title in franchise history. Also, the first 25,000 fans in attendance will get a free retro hat. I tell you this, the players don't believe in any curse. They'd love to wear these uniforms more than once a year.
To me, it just adds a chip to our shoulder, you know, to have that type of throwback and embody the energy of previous Bucs. You know, we should be playing with that energy.
It's just fun. You see all the old school gear, the fans that have been fans for decades that still have their old stuff, the retro stuff. It makes it fun and an exciting week for us.
All right, let's go into the all-out blitz. Here's my parlay of the week. I got 2 Bucs at running back going over in their receiving yards. Also, former Florida product Kyle Pitts having a good game.
I'm with you on Pitts and Tucker, but that young way is cool, and I think he boots at least a couple field goals.
As for the games right here on 10 Tampa Bay, at 1 we got a doozy between Philly and Cincy. Then in the 4 o'clock slot, the Chicago Bears head on the road to take on the Washington Commanders. checking out our Blitz picks record.
I'm on my way to the playoffs. I don't know about you, but we both picked up a win. We both got a win. The Ravens won, so I remain 2 games up on Evan in the standings. I'll make my prediction first. I can actually see the Bucs winning this game. It genuinely would not shock me, but I'm not picking Tampa Bay. I'm going with Atlanta 31-21 because you know what? The Bucs are hurting. It's a short week, and the Falcons, let me tell you something. Let me unbutton this. I dare you to lose this game. I warn you right now, if you do, turn your phones off.
I'm trailing you in the standings, so I got to make a move at some point. I don't see it happen in the next 2 weeks. So give me the Bucs winning 20-18 in a squeaker. I think Tampa Bay can run the ball. I think the defense will be ticked off, especially from that segment we just did. I think Atlanta knows how to lose games it's supposed to win. So I'm going to go with the Bucs in an upset. Remember, kickoff from Ray J is set for 1 o'clock. First place in the NFC South on the line with the Dirty Bird himself. That is David Schiele. I am Evan Closky. This is The Blitz. We will see you at the same time or same place next weekend.